What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we are doing another rebuild on Madden 21, and today we're doing a Denver Broncos realistic rebuild. I know technically we kind of did one recently, but not really, because it was involving an Aaron Rodgers trade, which regardless of what is going on in the media, it just seems like he's just either going to be a Packer or the more potential likely option, he's just not going to play. It's really strange, though, because honestly, if I was him, I would have probably pulled that COVID move, which would have saved him a ton of money, and I believe it would have allowed him to leave Green Bay next year. But I don't know if he just has faith that Green Bay is going to trade him or he's going to work things out. I have no idea. But long story short, we didn't do a rebuild of the Broncos with their potentially worst in the league quarterback situation. I mean, it's a bottom three situation at this rate, whether you believe in Drew Lock or not, which obviously they don't necessarily seem to. Teddy Bridgewater, of course, is the projected starter, which is usually what happens when a guy that's a veteran comes in, especially when you have a younger guy that really didn't perform super well, and a guy that's, at least okay. You expect this to happen, and then if things go bad, then they get benched, and then the guy that gets, that replaces the bench guy does bad, then your coaching job's in jeopardy. But this is what the roster looks like. I didn't add Seth Williams just because there's so many wide receivers on this roster that are better than him already that it just didn't really matter. It really didn't. Maybe they drafted Seth Williams to potentially replace Sutton here, who I think needs a contract in real life this season, which I don't know if they're going to give it to him or not. O-line, I gave Quinn a star dev because he was comped to some pretty good players and obviously was kind of a steal for them. So star dev, I think, is fair. I think he's going to be just like Mutai. I think we've mentioned this is the most recent rebuild we did for them. Noah Fant, definitely a lot of upside for him. Super fast, obviously. Team's looking pretty good on the offensive side of the ball, and believe it or not, on the defensive side of the ball, this is where things, I wouldn't say go bad because they do have talent, but for a rebuild, they go bad because of some aging pieces and some expensive pieces. The entire D-line, or the interior of the line, needs to be replaced. Vaughn, I don't know how long he's going to last. Maybe not super long. Inside linebackers need to be replaced. Strong safety needs to be replaced. Callahan and Fuller both have contract years here. Surtain would probably be the number 1 or 2 going in the future here, at least in a rebuild situation. Maybe re-sign Fuller, but I think Callahan's 100% gone. So it's not a bad team by any means, and I think for a franchise, they're probably on the too good side or just too many weapons side where it's just not fun to use them. But for a rebuild, you need a quarterback. It's not an easy position to get, especially if you're lingering. You're like a top, 15 team, and you're not getting a top, 15 pick or a top 10 pick. It's not going to be super easy to get a quarterback. So we'll see how this goes. This is also kind of one of those side rebuilds where I'm doing one to kind of see if I should do a franchise for them in Madden 22. Because once again, we don't have our offline franchise set yet. And there's teams, but I've mentioned it before. I mentioned it a lot while streaming on twitch.tv/Jeromepkr, which I know I probably haven't done a whole lot of last week. But we do a lot of talking about this, and there's just so many teams that have great skill positions already that are fun to develop that I can't, the positions themselves are fun to develop. Obviously, the guys are already developed, but, I want to develop some wide receivers, a running back, quarterback would be cool. But if the team already has them, it's okay, it's not really that fun. So I think my mic was muted. I can't. What a start. We re-signed Justin Simmons to the 4-year, $61 million deal that he had in real life. And if I'm not mistaken, that was pretty much it. We're allowed to let Tim Patrick go because he has a 1-year, $3.5 million deal in real life for this season that we're actually simming right here. Alexander Johnson will probably just let go because he's okay, but he is on the aging side. He would technically be 30 in real life. Maybe they'll give him some cheap, but nothing, even close to, 10 mil per year. That's a bit expensive. But, yeah, we have obviously a lot to draft. A lot of older guys to replace, but we're having a decent season. Headed to the playoffs, it's a close one, and not close enough as we lose to the Raiders. We were 6-3 when I said we're having a decent season. Clearly, someone heard that, and we finished 8-8, which is I mean, not super far off what I would expect from the Broncos in real life. You know, quarterback is a very big position, obviously, without saying, but when your quarterback plays like Teddy did, you know, maybe things can improve. Melvin Gordon was decent, but it just didn't seem like we ran the ball enough with him, or Javonte Williams, who also had a really good season, debatably better, was just outshining him. Sutton to superstar, Judy already a superstar, obviously. I mean, it looks like we have our three. It looks like we have the guys. As far as sack totals go, Vaughn only with 9 with his return. However, Chubb with 10.5. So, of course, a good pass rush season. Picks we don't want to talk about. Take a look if we won any awards. Sutton, maybe best wide receiver. Something like that. Rookie of the year for Baron Browning. Best wide receiver, no. Number 2, at least he's a Pro Bowler, though. Not really a super great season, but I mean, it definitely could have been worse. We obviously got some players playing pretty well. The Saints win over the Browns. I will take it. I will absolutely take it. Of course, the DevUps, we had 1, which is expected. Mr. Cortland Sutton, mid-in and red zone threat. That makes a lot of sense, in fairness. I ain't going to worry about it. Defensively, Browning probably did win. I mean, I'm not even probably. He did win Rookie of the Year, but probably deserved it, so we'll allow it. We'll go to Star Dev. And, of course, I believe that was the only dev up we did have. So, of course, they didn't actually ask us to re-sign Fuller, but I just gave him a 1-year 12 with 11 mil of it guaranteed. I think he would definitely be willing to accept it after another kind of iffy season. And then Callahan I released because, once again, he would be on a 1-year deal as well. And I'm going to clear the penalty. Or he would have been. So we have about $36 million to work with. I do not know if we have to replace anyone soon. Teddy Bridgewater, I have no idea what his real-life contract is. I want to take a look because if he's, making a lot, I kind of want to get rid of him because he really did not deserve to be on the team again after this. So, yeah, we'd actually have to pay him here, which I would not pay him. I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? He wasn't great, obviously, and I think everyone's seen that. It's kind of a Jameis Winston type thing at this point. I think we're going to pay him how much did he get in real life? So I think a 1-year 5 is, I don't even think a 1-year 5 is, I think that's too much. A 1-year 3, I think he's backup material at this point, although I think most people would agree that, or argue that he may already be backup material. I also added a year to Melvin Gordon's contract, because I would assume if he played like that, they would probably give him another deal. Nothing crazy again, but just something. But I think we have pretty much everything kind of like situated. Kareem Jackson, how much is he making? He's making, so we could save $7 million getting rid of him, so we're definitely going to think about that. But with the free agents, Dak Prescott, obviously not a real-life free agent because they signed him, so not actually even an option for us. I will say this is easily the worst free agency class I've ever seen for year 1. I mean, usually you see some pretty good names, but that is not the case here today. Sue, I believe, only had a 1 year in real life, so we might actually offer him something here. We add a veteran presence to the defensive line after losing one in Gerald McCoy. All right, so we have pick 15 in the first round, and I don't remember seeing any quarterbacks. This third round guy, which early second is probably where we're going to be taking him. But overall, we do have a pass rusher, and I know it's not technically the biggest need for this team, but he's a tough guy to pass on. Late first, early first grade. I'm going to take a look at Vaughn, see how good he is. I know we have to pay Chubb here, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to get a guy that's on the cheaper side. Von Miller, 32. Oh, man, it's tough. It's tough because he is regressing, but he is obviously still really solid. You know what? Even though the pass rusher looks good, I want to see how good he is in the end anyways, but even though he is good, I think we're going to trade down to, can we get a first-round pick next year by staying in the first round from the Saints? I might have to look into this one. Well, whether I can or not, I'm taking it. They offered it, not me. It's mine now. And then with this pick, we're going to take the quarterback in the second round anyways, even though he's technically a late third. It would be very unrealistic for us to know that this guy's an early first and not take him here. So Danny Saunders, he's our guy, and absolutely worth it. The best part is because we took him with a 32nd pick, we can give him the 5th-year option if Of course, we need to, because of course, we've already had one season. We usually do 5 4-year deal. You get the whole situation. This guy is next up for a fact, though. There was also this guy I talked about. He wasn't like a great combine performer, but good talent grade and all that. Jace Walton, though, he looks really talented, and that's exactly the type of player we're missing. We probably overtrade. Oh, we should have traded like a 5th round or something. That's way too much, isn't it? Actually, it's about even. I didn't even know that, but okay, here we are. Good trade, actually. Forget what I said. I wish we didn't need or I wish I did need a running back, because that guy looks pretty solid, but we do not. So Jace Walton's my guy, late second, mid first, talent grade. Give us someone good. And 74 overall normal. Obviously a very, very talented guy for his size. A very strange fella. Maybe a J.J. Watt type. I don't know. Even that guy's faster than J.J. Watt. So we gave the Eagles our third, both of our thirds next year for their third this year, which is pretty fair because it's basically a late second. So I'm willing to take that. Which will be taking the center, who is an early first talent grade. Offensive linemen have been awful for drafting, but this guy looks like one of those can't misses. Maybe a potential tackle in the future, actually. Strength's a little on the lower side, but a very good player. Just normal, once again, as we always expect. So we're able to trade down from 15 to go to 30 and add a mid to late 4th round pick. I don't know if we're actually going to take anyone here, but just wanting to extend the draft as much as possible. This guy looks like another talented guy, but similar to the guy we already got. I mean, unless that guy's hidden at 23, not really worth the pick. Evan Vick would probably be someone I'd be more willing to take. A couple of really decent-looking DTs here late, and usually when you get those late DTs, they actually end up pretty decent, so I think we're pretty much forced to take one. Early 5th. I think that's pretty fair right now. Evan Vick is going to be our selection, and he's hidden. You almost always expect a decent overall, but hidden is another story. That's a win of a pick. I will take it. Real question is, how good is our quarterback? 77 overall hidden. You'd imagine star, but you never know. He can get lucky. If he's an X Factor, that's broken. I'd actually probably don't even want him to be an X Factor because it just doesn't even seem realistic. And we're going to take Kenny Jordan. He's not the greatest guy in the world, but top skills are insane. Decent enough combine grade. We'll take him. And 68 overall normal. Actually, a lot faster than I thought. That's actually a really good pick. Could be maybe Baron Browning too. Now with our 5th round pick, who do we have? We still have the DT. I got to take another one. I just have to. 73 overall as well. However, normal development trade. Still a good pick, though. Now we're going to take our high-rated fullback. 70 overall normal. Looks really solid. Not the greatest blocker in the world, but, he's okay. Time for a kicker and a punter. Jeromepkr, who is supposed to be the strongest legged guy in the class with 84 kick power. Sure. Yep. That's also what I would expect. I'm going to take the other kicker now. Nicholas Jennings. Yep. That's what I was expecting, obviously. And then the punter, Weatherspoon. A bunch of just awful special teamers. I love this game. So we did land 2 hiddens, I believe. We also want to see if we got that. Well, we didn't get the linebacker, obviously, but I want to see how good the linebacker is. Danny, if only you could replace Excel with speed and then replace that with the agility. So 85 speed, he's 79 Excel. He'd be halfway decent in speed, but he's not really. But that's absolutely fine because really solid passing ratings, obviously. He's a pretty big guy, too. So a solid, kind of like a Joe Flacco-esque type player. And yeah, like we said, figured he'd be star. What's his number? 15? Yeah, I mean, there's a little history there. Let's try to find something decent. Well, he's Derek Carr, number 4. And then Evan Vick, automatically one of the starters because we needed somebody to start. Well, I wouldn't say, I don't know how we're going to do it, but most likely one of the starters, start Ev. And that's pretty much it. But let's take a look at the linebacker. The linebacker would have had to be superstar or better. Otherwise, it just, really didn't matter. This was the corner I had on my list. Thankfully, I didn't grab him. And I would assume this is the pass rusher. I would assume he would have been faster than that, though, unless he was a sale. Oh, this guy. This had to be him, right? I think this was him. Which, if so, he's a very good player, but I'm happy with what we did. It was a win no matter what. We did really well, actually. And I think we took that quarterback in decently realistic timing right now. He's a late 3rd talent. Looks solid with the early grade. we took him in the late first. That's pretty fair. If he's supposed to go in the late third, we took him 2 rounds early. So what can you really say there? So we save a little bit of money. We trade Jawan James off to the Dolphins for their 5th round pick. They were the 2nd overall pick in the draft, I believe. And obviously, as we know, they have one of the worst, if not the worst, lines. And I believe that actually means he goes back to Miami. All right, year 2, or technically year 1, if you want to count the year that we actually get to full control of the team. KJ Hamler hasn't really gotten a chance to start, but the number 2 and number 1 guys are fine. Noah Fant's fine. We got this quarterback guy. Running backs look all right. O-line looks all right. Honestly, assuming everyone plays up to their talent potential, the offense is almost pretty much set. Defense a little bit different because obviously Vic is decent with Star, but no guarantees. And then Walton, obviously no guarantees, even though he is young and has a lot of potential because once again he is normal. Corners, we could actually need 2 potentially coming up. Depends on the regression of Fuller and of course Darby. Need a new strong safety for a fact. Need a new middle linebacker, but we're on a good path and we have that extra 1st round pick. Hey, Baron Browning, showing that he's potentially the best of the class, going up to superstar with a breakout. And maybe we do need to focus on pass rusher because Vaughn wants a 3-year deal, and I'm going to be honest, I don't think we can give him that. Bradley Chubb wants a 6-year 98. Man, this is expensive time to be around here, I'll tell you what. Chubb is having a down year, but last year proved that he can be the guy, so a 6-year 102, I mean, it just seems realistic. Cortland Sutton, I mean, at this point, he's long-term, even though I think in real life there's a chance that he isn't. Kind of depends on how he plays. This is a really big year for him in real life. Teddy Bridgewater's gone. McCoy will probably retire. Reed's a backup, so we'll lose some backups, but for the most part, we should hopefully at least keep Vaughn on a tag, if not Fuller. So we really just need to replace 1 player, but maybe look for the future at those positions. Headed to the playoffs, are we in them? We win out, and we get to play our division rivals, the Chiefs, who are 11-5. We're 9-7. So an improvement, especially with a rookie quarterback. However, it's really strange that we lost to teams like the Giants and Texans, even the Raiders. But we beat a team like the Chiefs or the Ravens. Very strange, but a nice clutch 4 straight win end to the season puts us in for a chance. And of course, Danny Saunders, almost MVP levels. Probably goes to superstar with those yards. Decent touchdowns, obviously. Rushing. Javonte looks like the starter. I'm going to be honest. I think Melvin gets let go here, and Javante's the starter next season. Hopefully he plays well. I don't know if he will or not. The most yards goes to Judy. Sutton not too far behind, but he has more touchdowns. Fant was decent, and even Hamler was decent. So really, really good year, actually. O-line was all right. Browning may even go to X Factor based on the tackles. Sack numbers were absolutely atrocious, and I changed nothing about the defense, so I don't know if it's just the offense played better and controlled the game better, and I do want to see the stats and awards. I just kind of, I want to see the awards. Of course, Cam Newton wins MVP. Our quarterback all the way at number 7. Really? That seems debatable, but I'm not going to argue it, I guess. Rookie of the year, obviously. Defensive Rookie of the Year, backup middle linebacker, obviously going to win it against a starter. Best quarterback, really, all the way down at 6. Does the AFC just have, every good quarterback ever? I mean, we had number 1 in yards in the AFC, but that's where you can see touchdowns are way down, and they evaluate, wow, Baker with 48 touchdowns. Jesus, man. The Chiefs are at 89, we're at 85. I mean, our offense is decently high-powered. You do never know. Our defense is probably better as a whole at this point than theirs is, so you never know. You really don't. In the snow, I can't really tell who has the advantage. I'd maybe even give us the slight advantage in the snow as well. Going to the end of the game, and of course, if you're giving up a rushing touchdown for 70+ against the Chiefs, it's not going to be a good day for you, but we kind of counter a little bit. We're only down 4, up 3 now, and we're going to finish with a halftime score of 17-all. That's impressive, win or lose. To keep up with the Chiefs is not an easy feat, and we're doing a little bit more than keeping up with the Chiefs, as we're actually going to win and move on to the divisional round. Biggest upset of the century potentially here, as the defense forces Mahomes to 4 interceptions. He got outplayed by a rookie. No shots. And the biggest craze is that Clyde Edwards-Helaire actually tried to carry the team. Oh my. Of course, Javonte once again, I don't know if it's just the backup role getting, better looks or what's the story, but outplaying Melvin, which is, it's telling you something. Chase Walton with the only sack of the game. 3 picks for the old man Kareem and a pick for Surtain. 1 miss from McManus, but the weather was bad. Lots to ask for to kick 5 field goals, but he made pretty much every one of them. And he won with the Browns, and I feel decent. Well, you have Cam Newton as well. 86 overall for us, 88 for them. I mean, I'm not expecting to win a Super Bowl here, but I will say, you gotta love what you're seeing. There's a chance. Another snowy game, too, which I wouldn't say we have the nod this time, but hey, I'll take any chance we can get. Of course, winning this would mean you play the Browns, so this is a tough road. If we win this Super Bowl, it's the most deserved Super Bowl I can think of. 7-all, though, to start the second quarter. Down by 6. They missed the extra point. We do not, so we're not leading by 1. However, we will be down at half, unlike last game. The Patriots are actually able to score a decent bit here. 26-21. We're actually leading by 3 with a pick. Did we get a touchdown there? What was that? Yeah, we did, because we're up by 10. There is no way this team is doing what they're doing. They're going off 39-33. Denver is shocking the world. And there's no question about it. Like, we built a decent roster, but this is a shock so far, without a doubt. Look at the numbers between both quarterbacks, and once again, the thing that keeps showing up is the takeaways. Cam Newton with 3 picks thrown. Mahomes with 4 last week. Can you keep it up, defense? Can you do it? Cortland Sutton had a huge week. Both sides looking very good. Very good. Pass rush, definitely better this week, for sure. Patrick, Simmons, and Fuller with picks. Those DBs going off. McManus even sold. And yet here we are winning. Like, here we are winning. We've missed 2 field goals and we won by 6. Denver going against those Browns. I mean, Cleveland's a good overall, but their record wasn't great. So I don't know. Obviously, this is the one, the real test. The Chiefs are a huge test. The Patriots, not a bad test either. But then the Browns and 3 straight snow games. Has this ever happened? I don't know if a team has ever played in snowy weather 3 straight games in the postseason. If we make the Super Bowl and it's snowing there, something's got to give. Of course, starting, especially when it's in Tampa, 7-7. Not a bad start at all. Of course, defense is doing its part. Offense needs to do a little bit more of its part, though, as both teams are really struggling to score. Halftime score of them leading by 4. Now we're down by 1. Ooh, they get the touchdown, down by 8. Offense has got to score in that situation. They don't, and I think Cleveland, maybe not. No, they are too much firepower for us, as we are going to lose 21-13, but an absolutely close score as well. What a performance. You cannot, I mean, the thing is, like, Denver Broncos fans wouldn't be like, damn, that really sucks, dude. They let us down. It would be more like, how the hell did we get here? And when you beat those 2 teams, you're thinking, this is destiny, right? Like, you got to assume this is it. This is fate to win. But unfortunately, Baker, who probably should have won MVP, ends up showing off those numbers. Obviously, Saunders was really good anyways. Rushing was just bad in general. No success from the backups or the starters. Receiving was kind of meh. Defensively, they had kind of better sack totals. No picks, which is the big difference. We were winning these games barely with all those takeaways. So when we can't force any, you expect us to lose, and that's exactly what happened. Super Bowl winner is the Cowboys, though, which is a little surprising. Not by a lot, but a little bit. And we do have a couple of dev-ups here. Danny Saunders, obviously, to superstar development traits. Already just an absolute beast. Anchor extender makes no sense for him, by the way. And then Cortland Sutton goes up to X Factor, who we just paid a long-term contract to, so an absolute W there. Maybe it does make sense. Is he good at, like, stiff arm stuff? Nope, it doesn't make sense at all. Never mind. What a dumb game. I mean, great game. Then defensively, any dev-ups? We see Browning is in X Factor at 23 years old. What a god. And then, of course, we also see Simmons gets back to superstar dev, which is clutch as hell, because we gave him that 4-year deal like he got in real life. So things are looking good. Of course, we lose Jeromepkr. No shock there. D-line obviously needs more work. Jackson played well in the postseason. He's a good player, but he's just too expensive. I think we just have to let him go. We need a new middle linebacker. We probably need a new corner. So we're in a good spot, but, we're not locked in. The team isn't perfect at every front. We always can take some upgrades, which is obviously what we're aiming to do. And obviously I proved that the game is broken. He wanted a 2-year 28. I gave him a 2-year 33, and he didn't take it. And that's obviously the reason why I offered that, because I knew the tag salary was going to be massive. So I'd rather have him on a 2-year for, you know, like 33% of the tag. I'm trying to think. 2-year for like 75% of the tag. I think that's what it is, right? Basically, if you count 2 years tag, I don't know, dude, whatever. Words. There's nothing better than when someone someone that's a really low overall is like, I think free agency would be better for me in the long run. It's like, well, here's the thing, pal. It won't, but go ahead, feel, you know, sure, man. Teddy Bridgewater doesn't play the whole year. Played terribly when he did have, well, I mean, not terribly, but not great, below average when he was starting for us. Once a 3-year 71 to play backup. That's bold, and we do have 51 mil. Obviously, not paying a real quarterback contract is really nice. So we could go for offensive lineman, maybe, because once again, Garrett Bowles, I don't know how long he's on the team for. We could get, you know, take him, could lose him for a loss. I'm glad the dog's barking. Love it. But obviously unlikely to do that. Stearns is the automatic starter at strong safety, but we're looking to replace him. He would be one of the top, or that position would be one of the top positions to look for in the draft. Just DB in general. D-line obviously way up there as well. So it's really just best available, but best available hopefully on the D-line. Of course, looking at free agency, Jair Alexander. Once again, I just don't expect that to be the case. Fred Warner, we all know now that we cannot do this because he did get a contract, a big one too. Baker, really good season. I don't see why they would ever release him. Michael Gallup, don't need him. Kyle Fuller, we could make the argument to take him back for one more year. We'll see. McClinchy, we just don't need, unfortunately. Marcus Davenport could be a decent replacement for Vaughn, but Vaughn obviously is here for one more year, so no point to do that yet. It's kind of just looking like there's not really much to upgrade with. Like, Bilal Nichols is all right, but yeah, you know what? Maybe we give him a 2-year. Instead of all these, like, rookie guys that, you know, aren't guaranteed to do anything. We only need one player anyways. We get some backups. We also get Bilal Nichols, 82 overall. Obviously, we paid him a 2-year, 17.5 deal. Definitely a win in that regard. A really solid overall already, and we haven't even started the draft. All right, so we have our 2 first-round picks, pick 25 and 28, I believe. There's some decent-looking players here. They mentioned a guy named Mays. I can't remember how they spelled that, though. I think it might have been the tight end Mays that they were talking about that was good. This guy I do not think is the guy, but Ezekiel Tolbert, very, very fast. I do not think you can pass on him, and even if he isn't a great safety, look at the man coverage, maybe even is a corner, and if he looks like a decent corner, he might actually draft 2 safeties here. Ezekiel Tolbert's the pick, hoping for the best. 75 overall normal, and I mean, I view him as a corner, but I would say maybe draft 2. Draft this guy to be our corner, but start at safety for the year. I don't know, and apparently it's 29, not 28. And this running back looks sick, but Javonte needs his chance, and realistically, that guy doesn't really look like a starting running back, but I don't know. The Niners offer us this trade, which I think overall is probably the best and most fair, which also keeps all of the picks for this year. So going to pick 19, and we're just going to be taking best available. Also, really dumb is that I'm pretty sure this guy won the Heisman. So, you know, actually, no, he wasn't. The guy was named Archer or something weird. Deshaun Mays. Do I take him as well? That's the question. We also have a middle linebacker, Glenn Harris, but I think the best is probably Deshaun Mays, so we're going to go for him. 72 overall normal, and that was a massive L. Linebacker, perhaps? I don't even know. But what I do know is he's not very good. The center looks pretty decent, but we just do not need that position at all, like in the slightest. And you know what? We are going to take a running back. Jose Keenan looks like too good of a player to pass up on. 74 overall normal, and talk about a god-tier trucking back. We got ourselves a really solid running back. That's not a loss at all. And now we're going to take a wide receiver, Nate Devine, 70 overall normal. Does have aggressive catch. He's not a bad player by any means, but for us, I was kind of hoping for some sneaky little just good dev player that would have been easy to develop. Jelani Jenkins, best available pick for sure. Already heard of that name. Not super great. This has been a pretty bad draft. Not going to lie. Pretty bad draft. We're going to be taking Pearman. as our pass rushing backup to Vaughn, and he's a lot slower than I would have expected. This has just been a terrible draft, which it should not have been because this is like the best picks we've had. And we're going to take yet another safety, and we take a hidden one. Good man coverage, new slot corner, perhaps? Not terrible. I mean, unless the guy was superstar, I don't think he's starting strong safety material anyways. He's kind of tall, small. Bracket, of course, goes, which was one of the guys I actually had on my list, which kind of sucks, but yeah, I don't know. We might trade this down. Did we actually even land a first round or a high hidden guy? I don't think we did. I mean, Tolbert's obviously very good, but yeah, I don't think we did. Take a look at some of the players we missed. There's a guy around, yeah, right here. This is the guy I was going to go with. I was going to trade up around 18 for him. The solid pick would have been a very good replacement for Vaughn. Did not get him, unfortunately, though. This guy was one of the safeties we're looking at, Raheem Roberson. Not a bad choice at all, obviously, but I think our guy was better. This guy, don't even talk to me about. He's awful. Here's the tight end I was debating on going for, but we didn't really need one. Really solid pick. In a user league, you would be ecstatic with this. This is actually, believe it or not, one of the best tight ends I've ever seen, considering the height. He's, ironically enough, basically an O.J. Howard clone, but better. Look at the traits. That's the biggest thing. He's got fight for yards, run after the catch, possession, and aggressive. You actually can't get better than this for a rookie tight end outside of getting Dev. So, you know, obviously insane pick right there. But yeah, based on what we took and what we could have taken, there was really not much of a better choice. We just didn't have a great draft class. It just wasn't a great class in general for anyone. We traded Glasgow to the Jaguars for a 6th round pick. All right, so you have big signings here. First things first, Noah Fant, the steal of the century here with this signing. Less than 10 mil per year for an absolute mismatch god. Vaughn, if he's still around, may get another tag, but realistically, that 2-year would have been perfect. But of course, he's like, no, you can't make me. And I was like, well, maybe, kind of, sort of. Dalton Risner, not a super great contract for us, but we have to take him. You know, he's one of the best linemen we've got. Darby's going to be gone no matter what. Maybe not no matter what, but unlikely returns. I mean, he's someone, but he's not enough of a someone for us. Sam Martin, I think it's time to let him go. Kerry Vincent, how many years has he played for us? Okay, we have to add 2 more years to that. All right, headed to the playoffs, and we have bye week. What are you talking about? Yo, the AFC's some trash. What is this? We didn't even have the best divisional. Shouldn't it be the Bengals? I mean, I'll take it. I'm not gonna argue, but let's compare it to the NFC. Well, I mean, I guess to be fair, it's just a lot of teams at 10-6. So I mean, okay. I mean, I'll take it. This could be our year. Let's take a look. Oh, maybe it's not our year. How the hell? Awful there. Javonte Williams, though, really good. He should have been the starter from the very beginning, but you know, it's not my fault. Okay, Melvin Gordon looked pretty decent too for a while. Receiving was decent. No one really shined, though, like Sutton has for the last couple of years. Sack total's looking pretty good as Baron Browning thinks he's Chubb, and Chubb thinks he's, well, just trash. Jace Walton was decent. He should go to star. Pick totals are okay. I mean, the numbers are okay. It's just a little bit awkward of numbers. I feel like some of the performers you wouldn't expect to be on the top of the list are, which I don't know how that affected anything, but Tolbert, Defensive Rookie of the Year, because we always have the Defensive Rookie of the Year just by default. 10-6. I mean, we went 8-8. Then we went, 9-6. Then 10-6. So in theory, 11-5. Also, if we're adding 1 win each year, are we going to make the Super Bowl? I mean, let's find out. Obviously, we did get a bye week, so we don't even have to play the first game as we're already in the divisional round. I mean, it's not the hardest opponent. It's not the easiest either, but it definitely could have been a worse team to draw. Obviously, we are going against the MVP of the league as well, and Josh Allen. Start of the game, looks like no one's really moving the ball. They do get a touchdown, though. We get 3 back. You gotta think our defense is better. We have better talents, but they always have good defensive ranks themselves. 20-7, 28-7. What a start. Really slow start, and then the second quarter we went off, and I think that's going to be enough. I think the first half, well, I guess to be fair, the start of the second half helped as well, but the work was already done apparently in the first half, and they just could never catch up. This defense would not allow them. Both quarterbacks similar in rating, which is a little surprising because Allen has more yards and his completion percentage is better, but it's touchdowns. Oh, is it? I don't. Okay. Sure, I don't get it, but Javonte, my dude, Javonte Williams with a 93-yard run. That's filth. Absolute god-tier status. Chubb, there you go, buddy. There you go. Walton seems like, he's gotten a couple of breakouts, actually. He just hasn't actually succeeded. It's like 2 now, I think he's had. Just hasn't gotten them, which is really surprising. It's really easy, right? Tackle for a loss, sack, fumble force, recovery. I mean, those things should be rather easy to obtain. It's the Jaguars. Both overalls are the exact same as last week. At home again as well. So, I mean, if there was ever a time to get to the Super Bowl, this seems like the year, right? Like, this is kind of the least resistance year. Obviously, the Jags are very good for deving up, even though we didn't give them the proper devs. Like, Lawrence could be an X factor for all we know. He's no lower than a superstar for Madden 22, and obviously got a lot of other youngsters that they drafted that would be high as well. And you can see here the Jaguars giving us a bit of resistance. Obviously, we do better. We do better in the first quarter than before, but we finished poorly last game. Can we finish better this time? What a drive. Leaving them with 4 minutes, but 4 minutes too many, apparently. 3rd and 9. I mean, this is a debatable decision. What are they going to do here? 4th and 2. I don't think you go for this, right? I was about to say, like, I wouldn't go for that. I'd punt it. And we gave up a 75-yard touchdown and lose. Oh, that hurts. The Jaguars are a decent roster, but they weren't it. You're not that guy. You're not that guy. You're not that team. A lot of rushing attempts. Holy crap. A lot of running attempts from both teams. Damn, son. Defense just didn't look like they did the job. McManus, he played his part. Usually missing field goals, but, it was perfect in this game. We just lost, simply put. We just did not do as well. But I do blame the defense. So the Jaguars win it all over the Packers. Let's take a look at our team. Any dev-ups at all? I mean, I wouldn't have expected one on offense. Actually, I would have expected one from Javonte, actually, but apparently not. Nothing else, though. Nothing on offense. Defensively, no upgrade for, like, Chubb or anything like that. No corner upgrades. Walton did go to star, but that doesn't really surprise us. So, I mean, it would have been nice to see Tolbert, who... How good was his season? If his season was really good, we'll give it to him. But, I mean, that's really defensive player of the year or defensive rookie of the year, kind of just by default. Didn't really deserve the dev up, so I'm not going to give it to him. And Vaughn, I think, was an 89 overall. God, could this guy just stop? Just be bad, please. I got to give him the deal. I mean, I'm willing to tag him at this rate, so might as well give him something close to the tag. $19 million. This game, dude. 22.7. I mean, we gave him a pretty good deal, right? Like, oh, man. I'm going to let Vaughn go, and then if there's no one in free agency, maybe we re-sign him. I'm not sure. Ooh, Sean Murphy Bunting. A lot of people always thinking about, how can the Buccaneers afford everyone? I think the answer to that is they can't. And losing someone like him makes sense. I think they could lose him. And then speaking of Von Miller, I think we'll give him 20 mil this time. Is there any upgrades you can make to the O-line? No. I mean, those are upgrades, obviously, but they're not long-term upgrades, so there's really no points. Matthew Ioannidis doesn't really provide too much of an upgrade to our positions. Bobby Okereke is asking for a lot of money. But I'm not saying that it's not doable. Kyle Fuller, I mean, I think I'd rather just rock with our guys and just hope they dev. But, I mean, even signing the 2 guys we offered, that's still a win, right? If we get them, obviously. We got Sean Murphy Bunting and Von Miller. So, this could be the year we're gearing up. I mean, realistically, we have probably the best wide receiver tandem, right? Like, number 14. Okay, Jesus, this is a bit high of overalls. But the best wide receiver tandem, a top 10 quarterback, running backs playing like a top 5, top 5 tight end. O-line's a top 5 unit. Defensively, Chubb's pretty solid. Browning's obviously really solid. The corners, top 10 unit probably. Realistically, we just need a number 2 middle linebacker and maybe draft somebody like an outside linebacker for the future when Vaughn's gone. Jerry's Judy is set to get an extension. We are going to be giving him the 5th year option, which is rare for me to accept. So, Just soak it all in. All right, so we trade pick 30, a second round next year, and a fourth this year to the Patriots for pick 18, which we will be using to take a pass rusher. That was like the pass rusher we had that went. But the other guy we have is also very good, if not better, for an outside linebacker position. So this is what we're going to take. James Strong, 23, but hopefully he's decent. And he is 74 overall hidden. No matter what, will not start this year, so we can check the dev. But will be the replacement for Von Miller once the season is over. We also have this potentially sick-looking linebacker, very solid guy. Then we also have this guy, late second, a different type of player, but with his 6'2", 223 frame, I feel like he might be a pass rusher, so I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I think I want to trade up. I don't know if I want to grab for both of those guys or just one, but I want that middle linebacker to play our number 2 spot because we're kind of lacking. So we're going to go to Miami. So we gave 62, 94, and 158. The reason why I say we could still trade up is if we were willing to get rid of our next year first round for this other linebacker, but I don't think we are. So Greg Hebert looks really good. Can't be a miss, and it appears not. But I will say, no hidden. Doesn't make him super better than the guy we already have, but I guess he does have a higher upside, so there's not really much we could say about it. We grabbed him. He's ours. Ooh, I forgot about this guy. Yikes, we cannot let him go. And by we can't, I actually remember that we have Sean Murphy-Bunting now. So if we can't get a fair-looking trade up, it is what it is. We're going to give him our 4th-round pick and the middle linebacker we're actually replacing for their 4th. Kenny Jordan, of course, is only 24, so he's still not a bad player at all. Kerry Randolph, let's see how good he is. He is a 71 overall normal and not a bad player. Nothing really special, though. And pretty much our only player we have left is Robert Bartlett. We had a couple of early 7s, but they're all gone. Bartlett, pretty bad player, not going to lie. And then our 2nd-round projected talent kicker is there, so we might as well take him. 71 overall, and yikes. So if I'm not mistaken, we did only have that one hidden development player, but he was the guy that we wanted to be hidden the most. He will be our left outside linebacker when Vaughn is gone, of course. So put him there. Number 94 is what it is, and he is only star, but I'll take him. Let's take a look at the guy before him, who may be a better player, but he definitely wouldn't have been a better fit because he is on the slower side. Elijah Wheaton, and he is not the better player at all. Not bad, but obviously not, really what we're looking for anyways. So I suppose we win. Ooh, I should have seen who that that freaking run stopper. Oh, we found him anyways. Right away, Ben Cleveland, which is a very interesting name for the Cowboys. Super fast, and like I said, he's a good player all around. You can put him anywhere you want. Coverage, pass rush. Oh, he's good. He's good. Whether he's star, superstar, or X-Factor, he's a god. Watch him be like a superstar. Oh, my dude. They literally just landed it on the Micah Parsons. That's unfair. We trade OJ Moutier and Cushenberry to the Giants for a 3rd-round pick. We just didn't have any spots for them to really start, but they are good players. Alrighty, it's year 4, and the team's looking good. I know we've had a lot of year 4 Super Bowl wins, but there's kind of a reason. We got a 91 overall quarterback, 95 wide receiver, 94 wide receiver, 91 tight end. The lowest overall of them all is probably the most consistent performer, even though he hasn't really had a chance to be consistent as a starter. Defensively, linebackers are pretty solid. I don't really see us getting too much better at linebacker. Vaughn's going to be gone. Corners are solid. There's really not much to worry about. Tolbert, you could debate upgrading, but he's obviously, other than actually landing a hidden guy, there's not really much we could physically do about it. Resign time, Patrick Surtain. Oh, my Lord, this is not a good decision. Well, it's a good decision. It's a great decision, but it's not a good time to be us as we have to resign him. Baron Browning, welcome to the team. Another 7-year deal. The franchise is intact for years that come. Javonte Williams, first things first, let's see how he's playing, which seems to be pretty decently. Down year technically, but still good enough. But obviously that money is too good to pass. If he has to be, he can be a backup. Bilal Nichols. Didn't think we'd be giving him a 2nd contract, but we definitely are. So there you go. Excited to re-sign as well for us. Muta. This team is... there's nothing really to worry about. Everything seems to be going A-okay. And then you remember that we have to re-sign the quarterback at some point, and then it's like, maybe not. All right, headed to the postseason. Let's see if we're in there again, and we I was about to say are not. It seems like Von Miller is going to be gone. Of course, we probably could have the bye week, but we lost to the freaking Jets. Let's take a look at the stats. I was going to look at the Von Miller thing, and I was like, we'll go with the stats first. Danny Saunders, 4,300 yards, 36 touchdowns, 10 picks. Javonte Williams, obviously really good again. Just, technically a down year. Jerry Jeudy could go to X Factor, maybe should. Sutton, not bad. Touchdowns are low, though. Hamler looking good. Fant, really not playing super, super well. O-line, the tackles were kind of off. Didn't change anything since season 1 or 2. Hebert, not bad. Browning, not bad. Sack totals, awfully bad. Pick totals, non-existent. I mean, it's a weird season, isn't it? Probably Defensive Rookie of the Year again, at least. Which we do. And that is the only thing we get, though. Your opponent's saying about me, blah, blah, blah. No one cares, dude. But maybe we get him a Super Bowl before he retires. I don't know. Spoke to Vaughn earlier, and I got to be honest, sounds like he's not going to come back for next season. Yes, Patrick, we know this. Thanks, man. I accidentally simmed, please. Oh, no. I accidentally clicked sim. Is there a reset option? Oh, that sucks. I swear, your chances of winning a Super Bowl when you don't actually go in are so bad. Let's take a look at the numbers. That hurts, dude. Of course, our quarterback outperforms him. Well, I mean, I suppose we'll have one final season to try it all. Well, I wouldn't say try it all, but try for it all would be better wording, probably. Ravens better have won the Super Bowl, dude. They're not even in it. They're division rivals in it. It doesn't really count, though, as the Packers win the Super Bowl. Let's take a look at the devs. Any dev ups? And no dev up for Jeudy. No dev up for Williams. Doesn't really surprise me, though. Walton, the superstar. How you doing? Superstar dev with goal line stuff. Hebert doesn't get up to star dev, but I'm not going to really force that. Oh, Tolbert, star dev. That's pretty clutch. Safety, strong safety specifically, has been a bit of an issue to develop for us. But, yeah, as you can see, no Von Miller. Strong is going to have to be the guy to carry the load. Pretty good player, though, obviously, so I'm not really going to worry about it too much. But I don't see how, if last year's team wasn't good enough to win it, that this year's would be. All right, so the free agency class was basically a bunch of, old, expensive linemen. We couldn't really afford too much, but we did get an older lineman, but we didn't pay that much. We paid a 1-year 8 for Taylor Lewan, and the reason why that is significant as an addition is because we can actually get rid of Garrett Bowles, who is the same overall, just 1 year younger, but is making over double what Lewan is making. Obviously, we can also trade Bowles off for maybe a 5th from a decent team looking to pick up one more piece for the O-line. So, well, for one, I don't even know if anyone could afford him, but two, obviously we just have to get rid of him anyways. You can see that cap hit is brilliant for him. I think I found my team. I think I found him. Cowboys take Garrett Bowles for a 5th-round pick. That's obviously fair for both sides. Of course, we offered some other names. I don't remember who. Probably a bunch of random backups. Random backup there, random backup there, another random backup. Some may have star. I don't know, though. And then here it is the quarterback, which, of course, it's Danny Saunders. We will be given the 5th-year option because obviously he's going to cost a lot no matter what. So realistically, one more season at best. 2 more seasons of this rebuild because of money situation. And also, if we do suck, if we were to miss the postseason, that's probably going to be just a GG, right? There's just no point in continuing. So for our draft, best available is kind of the choice that we're going to be going for, which is going to be the offensive lineman. There are 3 offensive linemen they mentioned that were good. Tony Hewitt, they said, was really strong, crushed the combine. Kenny Booth, I think they said, was good, but he had some questionable character concerns. And then Steve Lumen, they said, was moving up the board a bit. So realistically, we have a choice in someone. We're going to keep going, though. There is obviously the first guy. As someone who loves gigantic human beings, and not beings, beans are the best, I have to take this guy. I was going to let him go, and I was like, you know what, I'll just take the center. They mentioned him, Kenny Lumen, or Steve Lumen. I'm mixing up the names now. But here we are. And apparently that is enough. I can't think to the top of my head that it, 7 spots. It's not crazy high. I think we may have gotten away with a little bit of luckiness, but overall that's fine. This is the guy. I mean, they mentioned him being good. Please be good. Tony Hewitt, 72 overall hidden. Obviously not a reach. Are they on crack cocaine? Very athletic. This is like Mekhi Becton. Like, if he's superstar, it's literally a Mekhi Becton clone. Here's the other guy, though, Steve Lumen. There also is a really sick DT, Cedric Woody, who may be the guy we need a little bit sooner, but, you know, that ship has sailed. Stop yelling at me. Speaking of beans, maybe this is a sign. That's got to be a sign, right? Come on, Bean. Well, all the players you wanted went a lot higher than I was expecting. They were mid-seconds, but they went like 3 and 6 or something. 3 in the second round's a little high for my likings. Monty Adams, not a bad-looking player. I thought that guy was on my list here, no? We have a Holcomb who's not really that fast, actually. I thought he was faster than that. This guy, oh, that guy's definitely someone we want to go with. So a 5th rounder, early 5th, minor, the corner. We really don't need corner. I mean, assuming we need him in the future because we're going to go broke, I would assume, with this quarterback and all that, but let us trade down. We get a pretty good trade from the Colts. You get a 3rd round next year, and we pick up their 4th this, which is obviously very high. I was looking for a late 3rd, early 4th, and that's what we get on top of that 3rd round pick. Brackett seems like a can't-miss player in case that strong guy just isn't good enough to be a starter. At least you got a really fast guy you can develop. 22, got to go for him. And he is hidden and bald. 2 combinations that are very deadly. Is he the guy? I don't know. I mean, it's an absolute steal of a pick, but not necessarily something we needed. I don't want to lose the bean. I think we'll be fine going to 24 for the bean. Bring the bean. Bring the bean. Ooh, we have a lot of options, though. But it's the bean. I can't miss on Josh Bean. Josh Bean, what up? Damn it, Bean. We had so much faith in Bean, and the bean has been smashed. It is what it is. DT was probably our biggest need because, you know, for one, there's a lot of big guys that you need for this scheme. That freaking little silhouette thing. This guy was also a late 5th. I'm going to take him early. I know it's not smart to do that. It's really stupid to do that. I know most teams, you know, it's about where you would expect if there's a true top talent wide receiver or kicker, but you know, that was a little ambitious. But we still landed what seems to be a pretty good draft, and we'll have to take a look at some of the players that we did pass up on or just didn't try to get, and we'll see how dumb we are. People are like, you don't need to do that. No need to wait. Huh, lol. Thanks. Appreciate it. This wide receiver's still here. I'm just going to take him. Brian Gibson, 66 overall. You know, he's one of those guys that has one of those, like, 85-yard games, and you're like, uh-oh, do the Broncos have a new talent? And then, like, you just don't see him ever again. It happens a lot. So I do want to take a look at the dev because Tony Hewitt, I don't think, has a spot to start on the team, but obviously Taylor Lewan's only a 1-year guy. He could be the starter next season. So that's obviously the title. Just to show you, hidden. I believe if I were to change his dev, hopefully we're not at the limit, I believe if I was to change his dev to try and cheat, it would just show up, as you can see here, which I may have just cheated on without realizing it there. So you know I didn't cheat. Actually, to be fair, I could have like made him X Factor before the draft started. So technically I could have cheated, but I didn't really think about that till now. But okay, I mean, it happens. I remember like a couple Maddens ago, someone told me they did that, and I was like, well, you're just a lying piece of crap. And I realized that, no, they were not. Well, they could be, but they weren't lying about this. I also just cheated there because we definitely did not want to see his dev because if it was Superstar, he would have been better than Strong. So, you know, there's that. This guy is super interesting player. Wow, that is a really interesting build. Like, really weird, dude. 92 Excel with only 81 speed. That's, okay, I mean, that's, sure, dude. What did we miss? There was a guard. Obviously, we made the right choice because even with Kenny Booth being hidden, the chance of him being an X Factor are extremely rare, right? He is a superstar, though. So both of those guys were actually really talented. Let's take a look at the, where is he now? Center. Well, the DT first. Frank Miner. Glad we didn't go for him because he was not very good. And then Loom in the center. Yeah, there is some really good linemen. I mean, they mentioned all of them being good, and they all were hidden. Finally, we see it happen. Maybe should have traded up for another one. Wow. As far as, like, knowing who is good and whatnot goes, that has got to be the best offensive lineman draft class I've ever seen, right? If you paid attention to the news stories and you had a lot of draft picks, you would land 3 superstar dev linemen giving you the best offensive line in the league, like, automatically. With superstar dev, you cannot get that without cheating or getting someone that already is superstar or better. And I had to say or better because our guy's an X Factor, which I don't even know how that works. Like, does it actually give you more XP or what's the story? Because that's insane. All right, I believe it's Season 5 now. The team looks really good. I mean, we have Hewitt, the X Factor O-lineman, sitting back up. Hell, he's basically the backup tight end. Move him up the damn list. I mean, this guy's pretty trash himself anyways, so what's the difference? But good O-line, obviously. Really good left tackle once, a year or two comes down the line. Quarterback's obviously solid, 95 overall. What's his ratings? I mean, short accuracy sucks, but, like, you have really good receivers that can spread the field, so you don't need them. Hamler, we actually gave a 3-year, $16 million deal to, because as far as number 3 goes, he's one of the best number 3s I've seen in ages, almost putting up number 1 numbers in, 3 of his years, basically. Really good stuff as the slot guy, who's not even the main slot person. We have Judy and Sutton kind of taking the main role of pretty much every catch. So not bad at all. Noah Fant's kind of been the guy that's slacking the most. Defensively, Hebert, obviously Defensive Rookie of the Year, but, not a crazy great year, so I wasn't going to force his dev. Like, Browning had a really good rookie year. As far as corners, solid top 10 tandem. The team is just a really good team that may run out of money soon. That's the issue. It's not the talent, it's the money. All right, it's re-sign time. Oh, my God. Jerry Jeudy needs a very expensive contract, 5-year, $120. Can you improve your playing skills? What? Oh, man. Okay, so the team is dead faster than I thought here. Evan Vick, obviously, is someone we cannot keep. He's a really good run-stopping guy, obviously, but we can't afford everyone. Walton would obviously be the guy that we would keep over him. So, I mean, I guess a massive 7-year, $92 million deal, suppose. Rosenthal, don't technically need him, but Lawan's going to be gone, and this isn't a terrible offer, so I'm willing to give it to him. But yeah, that cash looking bad. Simmons just has to go. Lawan, I mean, let's already make the call there. This is not good, all right? You're going to have to get a new kicker. You're going to have to get a new defensive end. You're going to have to get a new free safety, and then hopefully Judy re-signs. We re-signed Judy to that massive deal. Simmons, I would love to keep it. You just can't do it. And heads to the playoffs, if we lose, I think we're out. And we win. I do not know what seed we would have been. I probably could have looked at the actual seeding, but it seems like the teams did kind of suck. But okay, fair enough. Let's take a look at the playoff bracket. So where the hell are we? 5th seed, barely making it in. 9-7. I mean, we're gonna lose players after this season, so honestly, if we don't, I mean, whatever happens this season is going to be it. I'm not going to do another season. There's just no point. There really isn't. Whether we make it all the way to the Super Bowl or not, the team just clearly isn't going to win in Sim. I will say Saunders did have a really good season. The touchdowns just looked bad because we had so many rushing. Jerry Jeudy was decent. Fant was pretty good. Sutton was rough. Hamler had his worst season here. Thankfully, we re-signed him. O-line was pretty decent. Hebert was the only guy with over 100 tackles, and by far, everyone else was way off. Sack totals, Chubb, Love at 11. Walton with 7 and 6.5 for Strong. So not a bad season. Sack totals either. I'll take it. Not bad. Sean Murphy Bunting, really good picks. McManus was okay. Punting was okay. Kick return, punt return game doesn't exist, which, I mean, I'm not really expecting it to. Fields is the MVP. First time, I believe, we have not won the Defensive Rookie of the Year. First time we haven't won any award. But here we are, the 9-7 Texans, who I'm sure are the exact same overall as us, right? Oh, yeah, just literally the same. I mean, clearly both teams are the exact same talent level. All right, here we are to the end of the game. Houston scores 3. We struggle and give the ball back right away multiple times. Safety. The offense is now so bad that it's giving points to the other teams. Please, offense, do better. Please and thank you. 14-19, this is not looking good. We're about to lose to the freaking Texans. 26-21, I mean, this is looking bad. Although, they did something, and our quarterback throws a game-losing pick, it would appear. 4th and 6, they go for it, but they're short. I'm coming in, dude. This is disrespectful. This game is just... Madden is just juiced. At this rate, Madden is just... They've lost it. Madden 21 needs a break. It's been... Just been hammered home. Is that Judy? Stays in now. Nice. Gets out of bounds. Beautiful stuff. Now we have verticals down the middle. Could be right back to Judy. Fant's not a bad choice either. No timeouts, obviously. Got to keep that in mind. And we got to take Judy, who's wide open. And has the chance to get out of bounds and does. However, he is at the 10-yard line. Do we let the AI try to put it in now? That's what she said. And we do. They get the touchdown and the 2-point. They win the game. Obviously, quite a bit of help from us, I'll be honest. The chances of them winning without us are very small. Javonte Williams, who had a pretty damn good regular season performance or performances, has an okay performance here. Didn't really get that much of a chance in the wild card round, but we're on to the divisional. That's the main important thing. And look at that Photoshop. The Chiefs, I believe we beat them at least once, maybe both times on the season. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but overall, we are the better team. We have the better overall. We're the better team, and we have proven time and time again that we are good in the snow. And on the other side, I'm not saying the Bengals or the Steelers are an easy team to beat, but you could always have worse opponents. You know, no Browns in sight, it apparently appears. And this is a pretty good start so far, 14-10, 14-17. Both teams are doing all right to score. They're doing a little bit better than us, 24-20. That's okay. That's okay. Better showing than last game so far. Way higher scoring, which is definitely a little strange considering the weather. What a drive. That's just the dagger drive. It is the dagger drive. Wow, that was a long drive. Took off all the clock in the world and score a touchdown. Mahomes played well, but debatably not as well as Saunders. You know, the better passer rating, just a little bit worse in completion percent. You know, our guy a little bit worse in completion percentage, but better touchdowns, really good stuff. Javonte Williams was solid. He's been a really good running back. Usually these types of players aren't very good. They have to be proven running backs, like a Kareem Hunt or something. But you know, he's actually like a kind of creative class character, obviously, because he's not in the game officially, and he's done really well. And we've had players that have been built like him before. So very impressive. I guess it makes sense that this would be the last season because we're having a pretty good show of it. Going against the Bengals, I probably would have chose the Steelers if I could have. They also have Jair here. Probably would have still chose the Steelers if I could have, but obviously no choice. And another snow game at home for Cincinnati. And the other side, once again, I'm not saying they're the easiest teams to beat, the Rams or the Falcons, but been worse. There's been tougher to fight. Yeah, this is, your chance as a team in, either side really to win a Super Bowl. 14-3, 21-3, still 21-3. If you want to keep it 21-3, I will not complain about it. 21-6, it's, almost the same. Don't tell me. They really choked. You can't even score. Thankfully, Surtain was like, I don't want us to lose. I'm going to take the pick, and it doesn't matter because they still take the ball away, and here we are in overtime giving them the ball. This is an absolute joke. This game sucks. I can't wait for Madden 22 to be just as fun. I am just going to skip through all this because this game is awful. There you go. Didn't score a single point in the second half while having such a great start. Makes sense. That's a GG. EA bent us over. It was lubed, but they made sure to dry it off so then they could put it back in as sticky and as dry as possible. I don't know if those are real things, but it's very vivid. So there's that. Winner of the Super Bowl is, of course, the Rams, as I was going to say it, actually, because anytime we get cucked, they lose the next game anyways, making it the biggest waste of time ever for us. No dev-ups on offense for Javonte again, and then defensively, it doesn't appear we got a single dev-up. So realistically, it was like the season didn't even exist. My favorite. It's like the rebuild didn't exist. Nah, but to be fair, we did build a pretty good team. We built a contender that was able to beat the Chiefs in the postseason and the regular season, and we built a team that's going to last for a long time to come. Danny Saunders will be here for a long time once we get that contract. Judy already is. Williams already is. Fant might need a contract in like a couple of years. The O-line's intact. Sutton might be someone you lose, but you have Hamler for another year or two. I mean, the offense is set, right? Like they're locked in. Browning's locked in. Walton, Sean Murphy, Bunting, Surtain are all locked in. A lot of players locked in. It's a pretty good roster. You are going to lose a couple of key players, though, like Simmons and whatnot. So the rebuild's a success. We just couldn't get that Super Bowl, that elusive Super Bowl. Freaking Vic Fangio and his invisibility cloak over here and I are going to be checking out for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. We do a ton of rebuilds. If you couldn't tell, we've done all the regular realistic rebuilds, and we've pretty much done a second of most, if not all, teams realistically for their draft class / offseason moves. Obviously, we'll still do rebuilds for Madden 22 when the rosters are official, and when we have the new scouting and all that too, so we'll have new things to worry about and all that. Anyways, though, like I said, all those things, maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel PK Plays, twitch.tv/Jeromepkr for streams. Might be one tonight, should be one tonight around 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll let you know in the community tab. That's about it. Let me know in the comment section below if there's a team I forgot to do, and maybe I'll do them next. I don't know, but that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys come back for next video, but until next video, see ya!